Xi'an is the capital of the Shaanxi Province and the former capital of China. With more than 6,000 years of history, Xi'an was the first city on Earth to reach more than 1 million inhabitants, making it one of the most historically significant cities in the world. Perhaps the most renowned feature of the city is the unearthed mausoleum containing the terracotta warriors. 2,000 years ago, the Emperor of China ordered more than 700,000 laborers build this massive army, which was buried with him as a means of protection in the afterlife. Another historically profound monument in Shaanxi's capital city is the Xi'an Bell Tower, which is the symbolic beginning of the Silk Road. This massive international trade route opened doors to the culinary influence of other cultures, particularly Muslim culture, which is especially evident in the Muslim market in the center of the city. This marketplace contains some of the most tasty, unique, and interesting street foods in China. So let's take a tour of this area and sample some of the most iconic street foods of Xi'an. The first street food that I want to sample is Nui Rou Jia Mo. Due to its origins in the Shaanxi Province, it's often called the Shaanxi Sandwich. Now I have some Nui Rou Jia Mo, which is basically just some really juicy beef in a almost like a small little sandwich here. Let's see how it tastes. When they make it, they pour a little bit of that beef broth on it. It really gives it a nice juiciness. The next dish is not so much a street food as it is a full meal in a bowl. Pao mo is a mutton soup with bread, and it requires a little bit of work to prepare. At first, it doesn't look like much. You receive an empty bowl with a piece of doughy bread, which you're expected to break into pieces. Once you've successfully dismantled the bread, you exchange your bowl for a number, and the staff takes care of the rest. Now, the once dry bowl of bread is transformed into a delicious conglomerate of noodles, tender lamb, and rich broth, which the bread chunks have soaked up like a sponge. Pao mo is one of the heartiest dishes you can eat in Xi'an, and it's absolutely amazing. For 38 yuan, it's more expensive than most dishes you'll find around here, but it's well worth it. Hailing originally from the Xinjiang province is a hearty flatbread that's sold all over Xi'an. The Uyghur people who make this bread call it naan, but the Han Chinese call it nang with a G. I just bought some fresh naan bread here. It's like eating a really thick, chewy bagel covered in sesame seeds. It's delicious. Niúròu, or dried beef, is another delicious street snack available in all parts of the Muslim marketplace. Unlike similar-looking beef jerky in the West, the variety that I bought isn't as heavily tainted with seasonings, so the flavor of the meat is more distinct than any other beef jerky I've ever eaten. So the woman working behind the counter here said that her husband dries this beef jerky himself, and it takes about a week to prepare. And it's totally worth it because it is delicious and very different from any other beef jerky you might eat back home in the States. Thanks to vendors like this one, the tempting aroma of juicy grilled meat permeates the entire marketplace. Even though I've already eaten so much food, the savory scent in the air has restored my appetite, and I'm craving some Nui Rou Jia Mo, or mutton on a stick. There's plenty of juicy meat on here, and lots of fat. This is a really hearty street food. Lamb on a stick. 2 skewers of this only cost 10 Yuan, which is about $1.50. We've already made it this far, so let's take it just a little bit further. I've got room for one last snack, and I've had my eye on the creations of these chefs all day. They're making hua sheng tang, which means peanut candy, and the smell of sweet peanutty goodness is too much to resist. Wow, this is really good. After eating a lot of salty street food, something like this is really great for the palate. It's really flaky, crunchy, and sweet. Xi'an is more than just the city in China with the Terracotta Army. It's a place where history and street food go hand in hand, each telling a similar story about Middle Eastern and Central Asian culinary influences and their delicious impact on the Chinese street food scene. My favorite part about traveling to Xi'an was experiencing a new world of food that I hadn't yet tasted in Eastern China. The Silk Road did some pretty cool stuff for China, particularly when it comes to food, and my palate is thankful for it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.